Hi guys, Kurt Provost here, your guide to all things new skin. I was on a team training call a couple of days ago and they asked a great question. I want to share the answer here because I think it will be useful for you on your new skin journey. The question was, what do you do when you hit those obstacles in your life? How do you stay on track? How do you stay consistent with building? How do you overcome the hardships? What do you do essentially when bad things happen? Because bad things inevitably happen. Life is full of setbacks. Life is full of complications and hardships and curveballs that we didn't see coming. I remember someone gave a speech one time. They said, life is a series of problems, followed by another problem, followed by a crisis, followed by a problem. And so it goes like that. And it sounds similar to the Buddhist idea that life is suffering or full of suffering. And there's a lot of truth in that. I mean, when you have a conversation with anyone, if you dig down deep enough, you will find some trauma, you will find some hardship, some incredible experience that they have had to, some pain that they've had to endure, something that they've had to overcome. And that's what's amazing about human beings is despite all of us experiencing some tragedy in our lives, some more than others, however, we've all had our taste of the sorrows of living. We are all still here. And that in itself is a miracle and kind of points towards one of the things that we can use to help move forward. And that is the inherent desire for hope, for something better that is lying in the future, that is around the corner. And so we continue, so we progress, we pick ourselves up and we try again. That's within us all. And so if we can tap into that and just speed up that process so when we get knocked down, we get back up again much faster, I think that helps, particularly in this business journey. But my answer was not that. That just came just then. But my answer was that when I was traveling, when I was a hitchhiker, I had hitchhiked over 1,000 times all around the world because I was young, I was broke, I had no money, and so I wanted adventure, I wanted to experience the world, I loved traveling, and so I traveled in the cheapest possible way that I could, which was getting free rides with strangers by putting my thumb up on the side of the road. It's a risky thing to do, that's for sure, and inevitably there was a lot of hardship that came with that and some difficult experiences that came with that. But whenever I encountered a setback, whenever I encountered some horrible experience on the road, I had this mentality and a motto that I would repeat to myself, which was, this is going to make a great story one day. And that helped me to deal with whatever painful experience I was going through. I envisioned myself at a party surrounded by beautiful women sharing this interesting story about this hardship and turning it into something that is an asset, something that got people's attention, something that elevated my status in front of other people. And that was really important to me at the time. And so that got me through a lot of the difficult circumstances, and I did manage to turn them into stories, and I wrote stories about those, and I made money from that. So you can turn that into an asset. It's also applicable to us in our new skin business because it's inevitable that you will have some crazy things happen to you. That's what happens when we deal with human beings. Human beings are really interesting creatures and you never really know what's going to happen. And so you'll have all sorts of interesting stories to share as you go out there and build your business from the experiences that you get, from the setbacks that you get. I mean, I remember that one guest, I was traveling to meet them and I got a text message saying, hey, sorry, we can't meet. I just got a new goldfish. I couldn't believe that was a serious message. They were dead serious. We couldn't meet because they just got a new pet fish. I was like, what? Is the fish going to go for a walk or something? Is it going to swim off into the ocean if you're not watching it right now? What the hell? That's a very weak excuse. I mean, I would have just rather that they say, hey, I'm not interested in this. Go home. And that would have been fine with me because they would have been upfront. Instead, they used their goldfish as an excuse. But it made for a great story because inevitably, My team has had setbacks. My team have had people not show up to meetings or stand them up or avoid them or give them some sort of excuse. And then I'll tell them, well, your excuse wasn't as bad as the goldfish excuse that I got. And then there's a team member or someone that I'm part of their team. They've got a huge organization and they share the story about how they visited someone and that couple convinced them to leave the products with them to try it out for a couple of days, and then they'd come back and they'd buy everything and they would sign up and they'd be the best distributors ever. And she was relatively new and she was really enthusiastic about that, and they were sincere and they needed some help, so she left her devices there, and these are very expensive devices. And when she came back a few days later, the house had gone. The entire house. They hadn't just left. They'd taken the house and moved it somewhere else. So she shows up and there's no house where just a few days ago there was. And these people obviously knew that, and so they conned her out of hundreds of dollars of products. I mean, that is such a low moment because she really needed the money. She was struggling to build this business. She was struggling financially. She was struggling with her family as well. And yet that hardship has become such an asset for her because she shares that story when people are struggling within the business too. And you can see what her organization is like today. I mean, she's earned over $1 million, multiple millions in fact, from this business after that event. And it's because of the strength that she got from enduring hardships like that. So whatever bad stuff that is happening in your life, you can turn that into a story that will become an asset, that will become something so incredibly valuable for you in the future. And as you're turning it into a story, I find that you actually learn and extract lessons from the hardship that multiplies the value of it. And this is something that I think as new skin distributors, we really need to take to heart and recognize that, you know what, it's not easy to build this business. It is a difficult journey and there will be many setbacks on the pathway towards your goals, whatever those goals may be. And of course, remember, the larger the goal, the more setbacks there will be, the more obstacles to attaining that goal. Just recognize that each one of those setbacks, each one of those obstacles that you manage to overcome becomes an asset. It becomes a launch pad for you to move forward towards what you want. And it will be a training exercise for your future team members. So view it that way and move forward towards exactly what you want, because it may not be easy building this business, but it is certainly worthwhile. I have the utmost appreciation and gratitude towards Nu Skin for the life that I have today, thanks to the business that I have built over a number of years now, because it gives me the freedom to choose what I want to do in my life right now, and that is more valuable than anything else at this point in history. That's it for today, guys. I just thought I'd share that little snippet that we got from the training call the other day. My name is Kurt Provost. I am your guide to all things Nu Skin. If you're watching this randomly and you're thinking, you know what, I'm not even with Nu Skin, but I do want to start building a business that can create that freedom of choice for me in my life. How do I get started, Kurt? Who do I work with? Well, if you don't have someone already, then by all means reach out to me, because I am actively expanding my business around the globe and I'm looking for great people to work with like yourself. So I'll show you the ropes, show you how to work with these incredible products, and get you started on your business journey. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this, please like it, leave me a comment, and be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you get notified next time I create a video like this or a more product related video too. Ciao guys!